Hi everyone, this is Mcallister. I'm here with Eddie, one of the original guys from Brooklyn, New York. Everybody's so hyped up about Brooklyn this and Brooklyn that. There's a large migration going on right now. So Eddie, what is your experience in Brooklyn? What is your background? What is your culture, your nationality?
I'm Puerto Rican, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, Bed-Stuy, by Sumner and Vernon.
Okay.
Born and raised there and moved over to Midwood back in the 70s, late 70s. But growing up in that era, and time of the block, the area, was fascinating. Fascinating because the group of guys you grew up with, the changes of life from that time to now, you can't find today.
Right.
But I don't know where they are or if they're alive or anything around.
What is your profession, your occupation? What did you do?
I was a New York City transit operator, bus operator for 30 years.
Okay, so what was some of the routes?
Out of Gleason Depot.
Gleason, yeah, that's on 39th and what?
That was, where was it?
Sunset Park?
Sunset Park, 39th Street, 5th Avenue.
Now, is that the Gleason boxing ring?
That's the Gleason Bus Depot.
Jackie Gleason?
Jackie Gleason.
From the Honeymooners?
From the Honeymooners.
How did that happen?
Yes. They came and christened it because the Gleason Gym, the Gleason Depot was called 5th Avenue Depot.
Okay.
Then they changed the name to Gleason, which made it Jackie Gleason Depot, and Ed Norton and Trixie, or the other one, came over, and they christened it with a banquet outside, and that's why it became Jackie Gleason Depot. And if you go there, you'll see the big.
So they were already in their 70s, right? Pretty old, right? The show was filmed in the late 50s, early 60s, right?
Yes.
And the show took place in Brooklyn, huh?
That's in Brooklyn.
Is that what this is all about, Brooklyn?
That's all about Brooklyn.
Wow. So Jackie had that Brooklyn accent going back to the day?
Yes. You remember, in his show, The Honeymooners, he always played a bus driver.
Yeah.
And he knew the area. He drove buses, and that show was fantastic. And I don't know how the people got in touch with him to make that transition from 5th Avenue Depot to Gleason Depot, but they did, and it's the best thing because Gleason Depot now, it's sort of a landmark, and if you go there, you see old buses from the 1930s all the way up. Parked still in the depot.
Is that right?
Yeah, and they use them for parades at this time.
Now, you also mentioned something about growing up in your neighborhood, and I remember, because I was raised in Ocean Hill, Brownsville back in the day, because my parents migrated here in 1959 from Panama. So I joined them when I was 6 years old. And what I can remember in those days growing up was the gangs back then. What were some of the gangs that you remember back then? The gangs, territorial gangs in the neighborhood, like the Roman Laws, the Brevoort Chaplains, the Buccaneers. What was your experience as a child being surrounded by these guys?
Well, my father had a store on the corner of 3rd Avenue and Vernon.
Okay.
And during that era of time, they got to know him. They got to know us. We grew up in the neighborhood with them. And though I had a brother who was the oldest one who passed away, he would have been today in his 70s. He was a part of the little clique they had at that time. And there was also the horsemen and the Spanish lords at that time, in different neighborhoods. But at that time, I remember in 1960 plus, there was an era of time that everybody, they started coming down, and there was a big riot that came even through our neighborhood.
Right.
There was a big riot at that time. And it involved the shopping center, but then most gangs was a change. It was a big change in life at that time. That era of time went, and came in a new era where the gangs existed, but they changed from those names into the dirty ones, the devil rebels, the Spanish lords. in different areas. The Jelly Stompers, I believe there was, and they came from Church Avenue era or in the Empire Boulevard area. There was that gang, and I knew that because I went to Wingate High School, and that's where I heard about that.
I went to Erasmus too. Yeah, so basically, I do remember back in the early 60s that a lot of these gang members used to make zip guns and shop, whether they went to Westinghouse.
Yes, they did. They
made
made
the
zip
zip,
guns.
right?
Yes, they made zip guns, and there was violence, but I don't think near the violence that it is today.
Yeah, when
There was a lot of fist fighting.
Yeah, bottle throwing from the roofs.
Yes, but
Yeah.
a zip gun they made by hand. But
Right.
today, of course, you know, it's the big difference between what the gang is today and what it was back then.
Yeah, because I understand that they used to take maybe a 6x4 piece of wood,
Yes.
go take an umbrella, get the frame of the umbrella, and then they'll get a 22, empty out the bullet, just to get the gunpowder,
Yes.
and then they used to fire it that way.
It's
right?
a funny thing how some gang members knew each other from other gangs.
Right.
I mean, what are you doing on that side? You know?
Yeah.
It was like that also.
So it was mostly territorial, right?
It was territorial because when a gang had an area and a neighborhood, and they called themselves whatever name, and you had your side, and you called yourself, like I said, some of them knew each other, and they said, "Yo, you ought to come over and to our side, and we're warring with you guys." And it was a lot about territory.
Yeah, and also protecting the appearance and the people that had to go to work early in the morning, right? They were protecting the parents, the elderly.
Yes, indeed.
They never picked on the elderly like now.
It was so different, right?
Yeah.
It was so different at that time. Everything was different. I mean, we just saw Halloween, right? Halloween just went by. But if you remember growing up, Halloween, we used to go out trick or treat. We used to take trains and buses to go Halloween trick or treating all the way across. I mean, today they got to keep safer. They want to keep them close by the house, and so was the games. So was everything was on the street.
Yeah.
And you remember we all played stickball. We all played kick the can.
Handball.
We played handball. We played Chinese
handball.
Chinese handball.
And stickball.
Yeah, those games were all played in the street. We hardly stayed in the house. We were always in the street. Ring a Levio, Johnny and the Pony.
Yeah.
Those games were all played in the street.
Jump rope too, right? Jump
rope and Skellies. Skellies, and if you remember, crack top.
Yeah.
We used to play crack top.
So basically nowadays the level of obesity is increasing. Can you attribute that to the lack of activity by young people nowadays?
Absolutely, of course, because my nieces and nephews, as I'm speaking to you, I was speaking to them like that. Now they're older, but when they were growing up, what I was telling them is unheard of. Even they go, what kind of games were that? Because everything they do is in the house and on a computer.
Yeah.
It's even hard to get them out to do activity.
So it's very important to get the message out to the young people because they never witnessed that lifestyle back in the day.
Nope, because the only way they're going to know is perhaps from their parents, if they have older parents and they're older, but if they're young and their parents are young, they're not nearly going to know what life was like. They might know it from their grandparents, but they're not going to know what life is really like. And when we played a game like tag or freeze tag, we used to play throughout the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to go all over the area, all over the neighborhoods.
How about the music back in the day? How was the music back then? Because I noticed that you had more live bands. There wasn't no electronic music. I mean, there were more musicianships.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Growing up, I remember on Broadway, there were a lot of social clubs.
Yeah.
A lot of social clubs. And on Broadway, there was a lot of movie theaters.
Right.
Movie theaters that had, movie theaters that had live entertainment.
Right.
At that time, live entertainment. And there was a movie theater, perhaps 5 in the area from Myrtle and Broadway,
Yeah.
all the way down to Flushing Avenue.
Okay.
That has theaters, and anytime you wanted to go to the theaters, where I went to many,
Yeah.
there was the Kismet, the RKO. At that time, the Kismet was on.
But you had
DeKalb.
the Lowe's King too. They just renovated it on Flatbush.
Movie theaters
Yeah.
was one thing we always used to go to. We had saw all these old movies today.
Let me ask you a last question, then we'll have a follow-up to this. John F. Kennedy was a president back in the early 60s. John F. Kennedy, right? You remember him?
I remember him, and I remember I
when he
was in Catholic
assassinated?
school at that time.
Yeah.
And that's when we heard that he had been shot.
Yeah,
I was in the second grade, I believe.
yeah.
And he was shot and killed.
Very sad moment, right?
It was a sad moment. I remember even in the family, everybody.
Yeah, because I just retrieved on YouTube one of his speeches that he gave about universal health care, you know, for retirement people and Social Security.
You heard it back then.
Yeah, but it's on YouTube now.
Now it's on.
Yeah, I'm bringing all of that back so people can have a reminder of what history was about. So this is Orlando. I'm here with Eddie, homeboy from Brooklyn. So I'll see you later.
My pleasure.
Thank you.